Testing, testing. 1, 2, 6, 9er. Roger,
Are we testing or we starting?
That's your bogey. That's your bogey. There's your bogey. There you go.
We testing or we starting?
No, we are starting. We are starting, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening from the toasty sack. It is toasty.
Sticky.
Sticky. Toasty.
Sticky icky.
Sticky icky. Yeah. It's a little toasty here in the mid sack. Men can appreciate this more than women, I think. I'm not going to go into why. But I'm RJ. That is Tom. Welcome back to the sack for IDD Thursday evening edition.
I don't disagree.
You'll never hear him say that again without blowing his top.
That's right.
We might have to get that little. Who was the little red-faced dude from that Pixar movie with the girl? What was that called? The dude who had his hair was on fire and he'd lose it. That's Tom. Whenever you ever use. In fact, you know what? I'm going to have that for a prop next time. Whenever I drop that on me, drops. I'm just going to put that guy up there and he's going to start laughing.
What character are you talking about?
It's the movie.
Turning Red.
He is red already. And then he gets so mad his hair goes on fire. And what is it? It's a Disney picture. It's actually very good.
Oh, you're talking about The Incredibles.
No.
The baby.
It was after that. It was
well, Turning Red.
This was about a girl named Riley who moved from Minnesota to the West Coast. She actually played girls hockey, and this is all about her. What's going on in her head as she moves into a new neighborhood, a new everything, and goes to a new school and all this.
Inside Out.
Inside Out, I think is what it is. And one of there's four of these.
That was the emotion.
Anger. Which literally, whenever that I don't disagree comes up, that's what I picture. I picture Tom with his hair on fire, and he loses it. So we're gonna have that prop ready for it whenever he does it.
Yeah. So let me just be clear. Again, this is I don't disagree. Where the one rule is, you should never say I don't disagree. This is also a show where we sacrifice sound quality for good content and ambiance.
Absolutely.
We don't feel the need to be in a soundproof studio.
Hell no.
Wear headphones.
No.
Talking to two mics. No. We each have one.
No. That's like we're so important. I have to have my own mic.
That's right.
I'm so, you need to hear everything I say. So I'm going to get my own piece here. No.
We're not going to fall into the trap.
We're not going to do that.
Good quality production.
Hell no.
It's not what we do.
No. We're trying to keep it real. We're talking to the people, as we said before we went on the air tonight. We're talking to the people that are sitting in a bar. One of them smoking a cigarette. There's a game on behind him. One of them's probably got a quinella, a parlay, or something played on.
Quinella?
Whatever. Quinella's like four things of that. And that's an old dog track or horse track term. Quinella. You people that have done it, you know what I'm talking about. And
all right, but let's not blow the think piece.
We're not going to blow the think piece, but that'll be coming up later. We're going to share that later. Tonight's the think piece is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, think piece tonight on branding.
Yeah.
As my wife got my gears turning.
Never a good thing.
A couple of critical comments made from her after she watched probably about 10 seconds of an episode. Love you, Case. We are drinking homemade limoncello today.
Yeah. Hey, salud. Salud.
Limoncello, if you don't know, is an Italian delicacy.
Scatino. Paisan.
Around here are German, Polish brethren, Brian Kovac,
yes,
taught us how to make it.
Yep.
Take 190 proof Everclear.
Damn, is he German? He's German.
I think he's German.
Those damn Germans.
He's German and Polish, or is he just Polish?
I thought he was just Polish.
He's one of those things.
His brother's definitely Polish.
He's one of those things.
Chris, if you're watching, I love your brother.
It's either pierogies or schnitzel over there.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's got the recipe for it.
He got it from an Italian.
You take 190 proof Everclear.
Yeah.
You throw about 14 lemon peels in it. Let it sit for a couple weeks. You mix that, that Everclear that's had those lemons steeping in it. You mix that with some simple syrup, and boom,
magic.
Feel like you're in Roma.
Yeah, you do. Suddenly you're sitting there and you've got a spear that's twice as long as you, and you've got that helmet, that Roman. You got the Roman soldier helmet. You're like, that's right. That's what it can do to you. So it's great stuff. And, it's great stuff. And anyway, so tonight's a big baseball night. Right as we speak, there is a Donnie in the Brook. Okay?
That's true. A couple of Donnies.
600 miles north in the cathedral known as Fenway Park. The oldest rivalry in sports is throwing haymakers. Right now in the 7th.
Bottom of the 8th.
Bottom of the 8th, the Spankies, as we call them up in Beantown, the Spankies, the crank me's, the Spankies, the choke me's, whatever you want to call them, are holding on to a 6-5 lead against the Bo Sox. They were up 6-2, looking like they were going to run away with it, and Rafael Devers said, no. Contraire, Mo Frere. And dropped one over the 420 triangle there, out by the monster, just to the right of the monster. Those of you from that part of the world know what I'm talking about the 420 triangle. It's like the Bermuda Triangle, and because balls that go out there never come back. Usually get over that thing, and that thing is gone. Okay, it's a souvenir. So anyway, they are clinging to a 1-run lead. We're in the bottom of the 8th, 1 out. So we're going to keep you posted on that. Tommy, by the way, I got to give my man props tonight. This is a diehard Mets fan, if you haven't noticed. Okay? And the Mets are opening up their own special can of whoop ass tonight on who are they doing that to? The Miami Marlins, because we'll get into the Yankees and what they did last night. It was 2-0 when we were broadcasting. It didn't end that way. So in fact, Tom had said something. They're going to win like 10-0. Tom was close. He was close, but he was on the. He should have bet the over.
Well, I was thinking in terms of prices right. I figured I'd go low. I did well. They ended up winning. Barker can't be wrong. They ended up winning 16-0.
16-0. It is. I can't prove this. Well, because it's never actually. But it's hard to score 2 touchdowns in baseball. It's hard to do.
2-point
two-point conversions. It's very hard to do that. I don't even know where the goal line is. But when you can drop 16 on, I don't even care who it is. 16 runs is 16 runs.
Pirates aren't that bad.
There aren't teams that do that in a week. Okay, so the Yankees set everyone up north on notice that they were coming to town, and hell was coming with them. Said by Wyatt Earp. You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. And
hell's coming with me.
That was the judge last night down in Florida. And Rafael Devers said, no, son, now you're in hell. So this, I hope that these are going to look like this for 4 days, because that'll be exciting stuff. Usually when the Red Sox and Yankees get together, they tend to do this when they're both good. So all kinds of fireworks might still be in but we'll be keeping track. Tom's got that game on. We're watching closely right now out in the NL. We got Donnie, we got Atlanta and St. Louis. It's still tied at 1?
It's tied at 1.
Tied at 1 in the
Braves just tied
in the 8th inning, right? So there's 2 Donnies going on right now. Big ones. These are all playoff contenders in both conferences. So we've got a pretty exciting night of baseball going on. Also tonight on the docket, the KD Cry Me dilemma. Okay, ESPN designated, I don't know how many segments to this today, which I found both comical and educational, because comical in the sense that common sense should tell you what's happening here. But what's happening is that there's 2 schools of thought here, and we tell you who this secret player is, which I don't think is really a secret, but there's a logistic or a logical approach to this, and then there's the whole I've been hanging around this dude for this long, and this is not happening. So anyway, we're going to touch on all that tonight. The think piece is going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you're buckled up to start your weekend, because here in the SAC, we don't start our weekend on Friday night, boys and girls. No. We start our weekends on Thursday night.
Well, I mean, yes, we do. You're right. Do you mind if I do not start with the Mets?
I do not. No, by all means, go to the Mets. We have he's in a. This is feel good Tom right now. We have feel good Tommy in the house in the hizzy tonight. So you got to milk that for all it's worth, because if you don't know this man the way I know him, these windows are few and far between where he looks, sounds, and feels the way he does. So we're going to let this go and milk it for all it's worth. So this is the feel good. This is feel good Tommy.
It's true. Okay. So as we speak, the Mets are up 10-0 on the Marlins after a heck of a comeback victory against the Reds last night. That actually, you got my reaction while we were recording last night.
And it was recorded.
But, it's funny because last night, a big part of the think piece, at least my think piece, was about, sometimes I just love being miserable about the Mets. Okay. But today, I took a little bit of a different approach. Okay. So.
A logical one?
Yes, more logical. I thought about what you told me. Okay.
Just trying to help. You're going to do what you're going to do.
And after I got finished working, I think it was around 6:30. I decided to look at my MLB app, and I saw that Trevor Williams was starting for the Mets. Okay, Trevor Williams is a bullpen guy, and he's been spot starting for the Mets because of injuries. So he's been out of position, and he's struggled really bad. Okay, so my first thought was, oh, great. Trevor Williams is going to give up 6 runs, the Mets are going to lose. However, you know what I said to myself? I said, let's try to put a positive thought in there. Because that was...
So this was a preemptive positive
This was a preemptive positive thought. I said, you know what? Let me curb my expectations. And I said, all right, Williams is pitching tonight. He might struggle. So if that happens, I'm not going to get mad. Okay? Now, I don't know if that really would have happened if he had struggled.
Is this recording? All right,
yeah,
make sure this.
But
we got it on tape.
But I
we got it
told
on tape.
myself that.
Okay.
I told myself that. I said, look, he might struggle. Don't get all pissy. Maybe the Mets will hit. Okay, they had a good night last night. Last night in the 10th inning, the Mets had 3 hits with runners in scoring position. They hadn't had that many hits with runners in scoring position over the previous 2 games, and they had 16 chances. Okay? So I said, all right, curb your expectations. So I take my daughter to the pool. Mets game starts right when her practice starts. So I'm sitting there watching it. She gets back in the car around 8 o'clock. The Mets are still tied 0-0. She says, how are the Mets doing, Dad? Because
good daughter.
She's a thoughtful, caring daughter.
Yeah, if you guys ever get to meet Maddie, you're like,
well, this was Penny. This was Penny.
That's the other. He's got 2 like that. 2. Okay.
So she gets in the car, and the first thing she says is, are the Mets doing good? It was 0-0, and there was part of me that wanted to say they're not hitting. But you know what I said? Yeah, they're doing good. They're still tied. Right as I said that, the Mets drove in their first run. Then I stopped looking at the game because I wanted to talk to my daughter, and I was driving. By the time I got home, it was 2-0. 30 minutes later, it was, my God, it turned to 4-0, 5-0. Like, it happened very quickly.
I want to get a lever. Can we get a lever that signifier right here? One of us can pull it when the floodgates open.
Yeah.
Like we got to get we got to figure this out somehow to get a lever so that you can see it, but when we also one can pull it and it just signifies the floodgates have officially opened. Anyway, sorry to cut you off.
No, you didn't cut me off at all. But it was just, it's funny because going into the game, I had a better mind state, and of course it's not because of that the Mets did well. But the Mets happen to do well. J.D. Davis, who hasn't had a hit in a year, not really, but he's been struggling. By the 5th inning, he was 2 for 2, and then he hit a grand slam. So, it feels pretty good in Metville. Nimmo had a couple of really solid at-bats. Marte was 2 for 2. Nimmo made a great play in the field, and all is well in Metville. So,
yeah,
I'd just like to say thank you, RJ, for kind of breathing a little positivity into me last night.
That's what I do.
It helped me today.
That's what I do.
And, there we go. Mets winning 10-0.
Mets win 10-0. They've clearly put the B squad in because Miami threw in the towel. If that was a fight, they'd have stopped it a long time ago. And the Mets are starting to right the ship here. And again, those of you diehard baseball fans out there know this, which is why I keep harping on about the marathon of that season and how slumps are inevitable when you have to play that many games. Nobody, I don't care who they are, and I give baseball players a lot of credit for this. It's not what baseball does to you physically, because it's not that taxing of a sport. It's mentally what it can do to you. When you're playing that game that long, and you've got 3-game series all week long, and you got to play the game within the game. Baseball kind of personifies that with all of these series and things like that. And then you got to, and whether you like it or not, and I laugh when pro athletes deny this, but if you're in the race, you're scoreboard watching. I don't care what you tell me, because we hear this from all the greats all the time, and this goes across sports. They look for things to motivate them. They got to find them. Well, the beauty of the media is they are an unwitting accomplice to this on so many occasions, because just by promote just the news, what's going on. And you're watching that team that's right behind you in the stands, or you're watching that team that's coming into town this weekend that's won 5, and you're watching, okay? And the pros are watching too, and they're lying if they say they're not. because they are. Because in the same sentence, a lot of them will say, look, I look for a lot of different things to motivate me. They do. And the coach up in New England was famous for saying, don't give your opponent any bulletin board material. And everyone looked at him like he was crazy, but he wasn't right. He wasn't crazy. It's one of the things I happen to agree with him on. So he knew what he was talking about because he always thinks long term. And that's what the great ones do. And that's why he is a great one, because he thinks like that. And a lot of the great ones do. So anyway, the Mets are looking like they're coming out of this mini, whatever you want to call it.
To your point, the Mets tonight, I feel like every night for the past month, the Mets start their game. By the second inning, you look at the scoreboard, and the Braves, whoever they're playing,
they're on their tail.
They're up 5-0.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure.
Tonight, the Mets were up 10-0 before the Braves had a run.
Yeah,
and it's nice to not feel that pressure. Like, oh crap, they're winning again. We need to win this game.
Yeah, and if you think
that pressure on them.
If you think players don't feel that,
they've got to.
Yes, they do. They do. But what makes them professionals is their ability to focus on what they got to do.
Right.
That's why they're professionals. Because a lot of people would be like if that was him, okay, running around, he'd be walking around with a carton of eggs trying not to break all on. So
I'd melt.
He'd melt. So, and most people would. I'm not picking on him for that. That's why we're fans. We all have that in us. So, anybody who's a Patriot fan will tell you that when they're playing, a big game, that whole week is tense. From a fan base perspective. When the Steelers were good with Rod, you knew big games on the schedule. You had it circled. You knew where they were. And those weeks were very tense if you're a Patriots fan. And every fan base is like that. That's not New England, but I'm just coming from the Patriots perspective, the fan base there. Is that you were talking about that thing on Monday, Tuesday of that week. So the fans do it, the athletes do it, of course the coaches do it, because they're looking to see if the other team's going to be dumb enough to give you a freebie. Okay, give you a couple of bullet things to throw on the bulletin board as they walk into the locker room. Oh, hey, he said that? Really? When did he say that? This morning. Okay, so that's the power of the media, and they're an unwitting accomplice to a lot of this stuff. So anyway, right now, the Red Sox, we are now going into the ninth. It is still 6-5. So Boston came up. They got a runner on first, but weren't able to do anything with it.
So they're going to have to beat the closer if they want to win.
They have to beat the closer because the Yankees actually have a closer, and we don't. Okay, so at least not what I would consider a closer. Last time I saw a closer was 2018 when that guy had like 46, and they won the World Series. They haven't had a guy like that since. Not by coincidence. They haven't been near the World Series until last year. But again, they didn't have a closer. You got to have a closer.
But the funny thing is the Yankees have a closer because their closer's hurt. Because Aroldis Chapman has been a bit of a train wreck.
Yeah.
And he's hurt. So I think the Yankees have a guy named Holmes who's pitching to like a 1-point-something ERA this year. The Yankees have a solid bullpen, just solid pitching staff overall.
They're arguably the best in baseball.
Even though Garrett Cole gave up 5 tonight.
He gave up 5 to a top 5 offense on the road. So
yeah, but he's also one of the richest pitchers in the game, and I think Yankee fans would like him to be better than that.
But this goes to my point about what happened with Tampa Bay. The Yankee pitching staff is arguably the best in baseball, and this Cole guy's been having and the Red Sox got to him. They got to him eventually because the Red Sox lineup can do that. They can hit good pitching. For whatever reason, they struggle with Tampa Bay. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Right now, we're going to the top of the ninth. On the mound right now for the Red Sox is Davis. He just came in. He's one of those many that the mystery. I call them the mystery middle guys. The mystery middle relief for the Red Sox. You can't name more than one of them and that's only because you saw that guy the night before. And this, if you look at it from tonight's perspective, the starter actually went 5 innings, but he gave up 6 earned runs. Since he came out, since the 5th inning, Stram, Schreiber, Brazier, and now Davis. These 3 guys have gone
scoreless.
They've gone scoreless every damn one of them. Okay,
and that's the way you make a comeback. That's how you make a comeback is your bullpen holds.
This is where I give Alex Cora a ton of credit because he understood that his frontline pitching beyond Chris Sale, who you can't count on to be healthy. I hope that changes, but right now that's what his track record is, at least in Boston. So Alex Cora figured out another way to win, which is what the great ones do. He didn't sit there and go, well, look, we want to do our aces out because that's what losing managers do. Well, our best guy ain't here. Yeah. Alex Cora went, no, we got to find another way to win. We know we can hit. We got to find a way to stem the tide, and that's what great managers do. And Alex Cora's won a World Series here as a player and as a manager, so he knows what he's doing. Okay, and he figured that out, and the Red Sox are in the wild card race right now because of that, because they haven't had Sale all season. So, but here they are.
Fun fact: Alex Cora's brother Joey is the Mets' third base coach. and is the best third base coach the Mets have had since Manny Acta was their third base coach in 2006. Manny Acta was so good, he parlayed that third base coach job into a job as the Washington Nationals manager. They weren't very good when he was there, but I just thought I'd throw that tidbit in there.
Just more things, more of these destiny things that prove that Tom and I this was meant to happen, ladies and gentlemen. There are just too many commonalities, not just among us, but among our teams, among our fan bases. We're more alike than we realize.
But Alex Cora, a former middle infielder,
Yep,
right, second baseman, right?
second baseman.
Yep. Guys who play middle infield, they know the game.
They know the game.
Shortstop, second baseman.
Remy, you guys know Jerry Remy. Jerry Remy was the Red Sox announcer for how many decades here? Since he was on the '86 team, lost to the Mets. And Rem Dog, as he became known up in the New England area, he's a folk hero. He's a fan-based hero. He's a middle infielder. And he knows, everybody's heard him talk, knows. If you close your eyes and hear him talk, like, this son of a bitch knows the game. Middle infield. He's right.
Think about all the people that play up the middle. The catcher, the pitcher, second baseman, shortstop and center field.
Yeah.
They're like quarterbacks in football, the way they know the game. Because there's so much happening in a baseball game. It's got to be a tough sport to manage. Of course, I've never managed it. I have been a T-ball YMCA manager, and that was tough. That was really tough.
The stress of a T-ball manager is not to be overlooked.
You got to think about who you want batting cleanup.
Yeah.
Are you going to start your daughter?
Is the guy batting cleanup even know how to spell cleanup?
Well, at that point, it's not a guy; it's a child.
That's what I'm saying. I'm being sarcastic. Never mind, he blew it. Anyway,
all right. So there's a lot of baseball we're keeping track of, mainly Sox, Yankees.
Which right now, this no-name, knock on wood, has got two outs. Two outs. There's a runner on first. Carpenter is batting Carpenter is batting for the Yankees right now. He's got the porn stash going on. Good for him.
Carpenter's a weird guy.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah,
He's got
hit by
that 70s porn star thing working.
Carpenter was an MVP candidate
yes, he was.
4 or 5 years ago for the Cardinals, and totally fell off the mat. Was batting, right around the Mendoza line.
Mm-hmm. He came into today batting .286.
Right, and he's hit I think in his first 3 at bats he hit homers.
Yeah, so not today he didn't.
For the Yankees. Yeah. For his first, because the Yankees just picked him up off the scrap heap. Yeah. Gave him a minor league deal, and I think in his first at bat he hit a bomb for them.
So right now it's 1 ball, 1 strike to him. So we're keeping tabs on it for you. We're staying live with this, and we also got that Donnybrook. Was that game in Atlanta or is it in
Atlanta?
It's in Atlanta between the Cardinals and that very knowledgeable fan base out there in St. Louis.
Yeah, and Atlanta's just been knocking them around in this series. One thing I wanted to bring up before we get off baseball. This is not an important series by any means, but it's just interesting. The Angels of Anaheim are in Baltimore playing the Orioles. And anybody who's even a casual baseball fan knows that the Angels have probably the 2 best players in baseball. Arguably. You could argue other players. But Mike Trout is on a $400 million contract. And Shohei Ohtani, who every time he plays does something you've never seen. Mm-hmm. Last night, he was the starting pitcher. I think he had 10 Ks, and he drove in 2 runs. Yeah. He's a great hitter and a great pitcher. He's fast, he's strong, he's got an arm.
Doesn't take batting practice.
He's amazing.
Doesn't even take batting practice. They say he falls asleep before he sleeps through batting practice.
He's amazing.
That's amazing.
But the reason I bring this up is that the Orioles, who, if you ask a casual baseball fan about the Orioles, they'll tell you they're the worst team in the league. They have a better record than the Angels, and they're winning 4-1, about to put the Angels away in the top of the 9th.
We made the argument recently, and again, this is one of the dark. We have the hidden 7, which if we ever get famous, maybe we'll release those, but you'll pay for those because that's really where the foundation of this shenanigan show was built. And in the middle of that, we had a rant about how the Orioles were the worst team in baseball, and how if they were not in the AL East, which is by far the best division in baseball, they'd probably be in second place in any other division at least, because they're that much better than they've been in a long, long time. But they're in that division. And
they'd be probably 8 to 10 games over 500.
Easily. Yeah, I think they would be. And if they win tonight, they're going to be like 40 and 40, whatever, 6 or whatever, something like that. So they're not
40 and 44 if they win tonight.
40 and 40.
That's not a bad record.
If you're
in the AL East,
that's
crazy.
That's crazy. They are flirting with 500. This division has a chance to do something I don't recall in my lifetime, where every team in the division finishes 500 or better.
That'd be nuts.
If there's a chance that happens, and if that does happen, because everybody's talking about this in football with the AFC West and what's happened there. We'll get to that later on, not tonight, but we will when we start talking football. But this is like that, okay? Where and I don't even know who the Orioles brought in, but they are. This is the best I've seen them look in a decade. Maybe
because
they had one run there, right?
Well, remember when Showalter was there? Adam Jones was a center fielder.
Yeah, they had that
great center. They had a good team. They were making the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You know, they were a wild card team.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. Buck was there.
Yeah. They had a good run there where they had some good players. Mm-hmm. Adam Jones was their best player. Buck Showalter was their manager. Yeah. But outside of that, it was like Cal Ripken.
Yeah. We have to get back to Cal Ripken. Yeah. You do. So we're keeping tabs on them as well, because that would be another interesting thing for the summer if they stay in that range. That striking is, could the AL East have 5 teams, all 5 teams finish 500 or better? That awesome. Would be unreal.
I'd root for that.
That would be incredible, because I know I've never seen that in my lifetime, and I'm flirting with 50. So anyway, we'll keep tabs on that. Red Sox are up right now. There's 1 out. Cordero,
it's already the 9th?
Yeah, it's the 9th. 1 out. Not Cordero. Who was it? It was.
Let me put that game on.
It was. Who was it? It was Story. T Story. Trevor Story. Yeah.
That's the guy they got from the Rockies, and he really hasn't been very good, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. So Story popped out to second. Another pop up.
I'm watching it.
Another pop up. Oh, pop ups. Routine pop ups. So the Red Sox are down to 6 strikes here. So we'll keep tabs on that for you. But we're going to close this first segment out with that the Yankees are very much the Yankees. And the Red Sox, we said this last night at Fenway, and they had to hit. And honestly, let's be real. One guy's hitting. Devers has 5 RBIs. He's got all 5 of them. He's got 2 dingers, one over the 420. He's the only one. Martinez, again, is a no-show, 0 for 3. Got nothing out of him tonight. Don't look like we're going to see him again unless they somehow tie this up.
But still, putting the 5 spot on Cole,
one guy did it. It was one guy.
Yeah.
One guy, 2 swings. Okay. 2 hits. Me hitting your ball hitting the wall. Anytime you're running. That's a Breakfast Club reference.
Come on, Cordero, do something, baby.
We'll see. But they got the red jersey on, so I probably jinxed them tonight. Oh, by the way, did you notice what's behind us? We'll be doing this from this point forward. We got to get Tommy another jersey, a Knicks jersey or a Rangers jersey or a Jet or not Jets, Giants jersey.
It's not a Rangers jersey.
I know he hates hockey. Hockey's not a real sport.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
He said it was not one of the 4 major.
I said
sports.
It's questionable to call it a major sport based on its relevance. However, I respect the competition. Again, a think piece we talked about last night. Yeah. I respect the athletes. I respect the game. It's a beautiful game.
It's a great game. Playoff hockey is amazing.
I don't have a team in it. You know, all my family in New York, but most of my family who likes hockey, they are Islander fans.
So you and Scatino could have some serious conversations. He's a diehard.
Yeah, I just don't. I can't get into hockey. I don't know the rules.
Put puck in net.
I know, but offsides. Once people start talking about offsides,
you have to be. Your body has to be on the line. The puck has to go before your body goes.
Dude, there's 50 lines.
No, there's 5 of them. There's one that's for the icing on both ends of the ice. Then you got the blue line.
Everybody's on their feet in Fenway. It's 3-2, 1 out. Cordero.
3-2, and there's no.
Everybody's on their feet
because they know they're in trouble.
Yankees pitcher's nervous.
Or someone.
He struck him out.
Or somebody said last call, which at Fenway would definitely.
Man. Who the hell is this Holmes guy?
Another gem out of the Yankee bullpen tonight.
All right, and here's something I hate about the Yankees and Red Sox: no names on the back of their jerseys. Enough with the pretentious bullshit.
You got to know who they are.
But here's the thing: I love baseball.
Don't the Yankees? I thought the visiting team wore the home team didn't have them.
No, the Yankees.
Because the Red Sox normally have them on the road.
They have it on the road.
On the road.
The Yankees never have names on the back because it's all about it's all about the name on the front.
I actually have no problem.
Give me it's pretentious.
No, it's not. It's about the team.
No, it's not. It's pretentious.
It's a symbol. It's symbolization.
Okay, here's the other thing. Let these guys get endorsements. Let people know who they are.
If you're a
Put
Yankee,
their name.
If you're a Yankee, endorsements ain't your problem in life.
If you're Holmes, you don't even know. I don't even know who this guy is.
Anybody who's a Yankee fan, and there's a billion of them around the world, let's be honest, knows that line.
Game over.
Yep, it ended. Yep, Red Sox come up short. No surprise there. They came back, made it a Donnie, but got nothing because when your best hitter, second best hitter goes 0 for whatever, and your third best hitter goes 0 for whatever, and you're playing the Yankees, your second and third best hitter can't go 0 for whatever. One guy, Rafael Devers, kept him in this game tonight. 5 ribbies. He's a one-man wrecking crew. But
He's a beast.
One man ain't beating the Yankees, ladies and gentlemen. This just in. One man ain't beating the Yankees. It's that simple. Okay? So that's over. Not that the Red Sox are going to catch him anyway, but now it's
Tampa doesn't play today.
Toronto's playing on the West Coast.
Toronto plays Seattle.
Yeah.
So they're about to start.
Yeah, we need Toronto to lose. And this is the part I hate, where you need to root for somebody to lose.
So right now,
your team can't handle their business.
Right now, Boston drops behind Tampa.
Yes, they do.
Because they were a half game up. Or no, they were tied.
They're tied because Tampa's off tonight.
So they drop a half game behind Tampa.
Seattle's in the first. Toronto's in the first out in the Kingdom, not the Kingdom. Out in Seattle, there, whatever that park is now. They have these new parks. We will keep tabs on that. Also tonight, at some point, there is, just so you know, for that niche sport there, they have the NHL draft tonight. Some of us did. Some of us didn't know that. Tom's going to use the bathroom. So the NHL draft is tonight. Jim Billy, brother, I know you're watching. You know that I know that you know that I know what's going on. So anyway, Craig Scatino, the Mad Paisan, the Madman, Bad Man, who's out there in the Rockies and still celebrating that glorious Rockies Stanley Cup, although he's an Islander fan. So you better not be drinking from that cup because your Islanders didn't win it. Okay? But you've got the draft going on right now. They have, I forget where they are in this right now, but they've got the first, I don't know how many rounds are going tonight, but if we're looking at this from that, we're not going to stay on this, but
give hockey a little love.
We're going to give him a little love. We're going to give him a little update where we are in the draft, who's picking and where. We get a little live draft tracker going on here. Got to love ESPN.com. They think of everything. And a little live draft tracker just to see who's where. And then we're going to get off of that. We're not going to not mention it. It's a four sport. It's a major sport.
And as you look at that, I just want to send a shout out to one of the bigger hockey fans I know. You mentioned him, Craig Scatino.
Yes.
One thing I love about this guy is he makes a 2-day sauce.
3-day if he's with me.
And when I come over, he's got the wooden spoon ready for me. Okay?
Yeah.
And any self-respecting Italian knows that sauce tastes better on a wooden spoon. Okay? So the fact that he not only cooks his sauce as long as he does, but has a wooden spoon waiting for me, I'll always love the man.
Yep. And so as we're trying to go into the draft here, my wife is texting. By the way, that's a potential think piece tonight, the wives. Here's a little one for you. My wife, can we come outside just for a minute, just to the fridge? Ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about my garage, there is one fridge out here, and you know what's in it. So our good friend,
So
Janice,
let's say sure.
Let's say sure, because they're going to screw up this telecast, whether we like it or not. But we're not. You know what? We're going to use them. They're always used. We're going to use them. Tom beat me to the punch. Just said sure. So they're going to come out here any second now. Probably knock over the shirts on the way out. Start poking fun of the set, and here it comes. So anyway, we're going to continue on as if they're
This is going to be our first guest appearance?
Is this a guest appearance? We have a guest appearance tonight here, and already the giggles, the nervous giggles. The high school dance giggles have started already. They haven't even
That's
come
okay.
out.
That'll raise viewership.
Yeah, seriously, we need the female population here. We gotta get the female vote. So I think that's my wife in the door. I can't tell. No, we are not. We
we're
are
live.
live, and you are now live with us.
There's people around the world.
Do you
watching.
understand that people? There are people right now in Schlosskovitz who are hanging on our every word. Bottle of wine.
Keep talking hockey.
Keep talking hockey. Bottle of wine there for the ladies. Look at the little high school giggles in the background. My wife's ashamed to come out here for whatever reason. But that bottle of wine is important. Yeah, let's get to that, baby. So there, as you know, those of you alcoholics, or because no one likes a quitter. There's Wet My Whistle Wednesday and there's Thirsty Thursday. Someone is thirsty. Someone is thirsty. Besides the Red Sox fans for a W over the Yankees, someone is thirsty. So my wife didn't even do me the satisfaction of coming out here because she doesn't want to be on. She doesn't want to be part of these shenanigans, but she just was.
I mean, the thing is, standing next to us,
we make them look good.
right?
We really do.
We
are. I would argue that we are two of the elite of a dying breed, two of the elite wingmen on this planet. He and I still getting it done after all these years. We are two of the elite wingmen going. We make our wives pop. I mean, they pop when they're next to us. They're like, wow.
The worse I look.
Yep, the worse I look, the better she looks. So it's just that simple.
God,
ladies out there, you got to understand something. Maybe, just maybe, there is some method to your man's madness. Maybe he's not just a lazy, uncaring fuck. Maybe he just wants to make you look good because he knows that's important to you. So he knows that if he looks like what you see him look like, and you're out in public, they're not even looking at him. They're looking at her, going, "How the hell did he get her?" They're making you look good. We are making you look good. So yes, we are dumb.
But in a way, I mean,
but we are not so
that could be
dumb.
making them look bad.
No, it makes it look like an angel. They're going to heaven. Wow, you're trying to save that
Standing
poor soul?
next to the devil.
Standing next to the devil. You're next to the devil. Or one of the devil's disciples. So anyway, what?
One of the
You
devil's
hear this all the time. That she looks like an angel. Well, yeah, look who she's standing next to. Lucifer himself.
I haven't heard that phrase, she looks like an angel.
They have that angel in so many songs. Aerosmith, Angel. There's a million songs where a man is singing about it's a woman. Okay? So that's where we put you. We sing songs about you, and we call you the angel. Angels. There's a buddy of mine down in Florida who I grew up with, this kid Sal, and he's engaged, and all he calls, I don't even know this girl's last name, he's fine, Angel. That's what he calls her.
Sally Walnuts?
No, not Sally Walnuts. Sal Blasi. Okay? Grew up with him, played basketball my driveway many times. His brother John, Giovanni's down there. How you doing, Giovanni? Love you, pal. Miss you. We were kids growing up playing basketball in the heat in July, in the asphalt, in the 100-degree heat, playing marathon series back in the day when we were kids. And they moved to Florida because it wasn't hot enough where we were. Apparently.
Sal and Giovanni?
Sal and Giovanni Blasi. They're down in Florida.
So
Franklin,
nice Irish family?
Oh, yeah, nice Irish family. Franklin was 90% Italian growing up. But anyway, so 90%. In fact, Franklin's one of the few towns that they have.
The town.
The town of Franklin has there's a street that has it's the Italian flag is the line that goes down the middle of it. It's not a yellow line. It's the Italian flag. So,
that's a little too guinea for me.
No, take that back. There's such thing.
You're right. You're right. I would have liked that.
You would have loved that. But you probably would have pulled out of your car and take a picture of it. Probably would have smoked a cigarette on it. Had a drink with it. You probably would have asked for its digits.
No, I like being around Italians.
Yes, you do.
But I mean, there's some questionable Italians.
Of course, there's questionable everybody. That's a
good point.
I mean, anyway, so the NHL draft. Okay, right now I'm going to give you the top 10 picks real quick. All right, so we have the Canadians going first. So we hope that's a dumpster fire. You Bruins fans.
So let me ask you a question, because as you educate me, you can educate our viewers.
Sure.
In the NHL, does it work the same way? Worst team drafts first, or is it a lottery?
I think it's the worst team drafts first.
So it's like football.
I think the NHL is keeping it real, not the stupid draft lottery crap.
Lottery's terrible.
I hate the draft lottery. That was a David Stern thing to screw Red Auerbach in the Celtics, and we'll get back to that later on. But that's really David Stern. God
but who did he
soul.
screw? He screwed the Knicks for the past 20 years.
Well, he screwed the Celtics too, because him and Red Auerbach never got along. Okay, Red Auerbach said David Stern can market this league, but he can't.
David Stern was the commissioner while Red Auerbach was there?
Yeah, he took over in 1984, right ahead of the greatest finals in NBA history the 1984 Boston Celtics, LA Lakers. You ask anybody at ESPN today, what was the series that got 84 Boston, LA? That series had everything. That is still the gold standard.
Bird Magic?
Bird Magic, first time. Both teams were actually healthy, and that was the definition of Donnybrook.
Who won?
The Celtics in 7. And that series was the definition of Donnybrook. In fact, that's probably where that it came from. Because
was that the one where Mikhail
clothesline? That series had Kareem Rambis. Kareem and Bird reach his face, touch each other, go fuck themselves. It was unbelievable. Mikhail and Magic get into it where they're running down the court trying to knock each other out. This series had everything. It had everything. And Stephen A. Smith, God love him, still talks about it. He's like, that was the series. That still is the greatest series, final in the history of the NBA Finals. That series, the world sat up and watched it. It was because of Bird and Magic. Bird and Magic saved the NBA. If you think about basketball, you know it's here because of Bird and Magic. No other reason. Because that league had dwindling rates. They couldn't even get the finals on live TV. They were recorded. That all changed in 1984.
What do you think? But I think David Stern had a part in that too.
David Stern saw a runaway train and jumped on because he had nothing to do with Bird and Magic. He took over in March of that season. Bird and Magic, they're already halfway through the season. They're past the All-Star break. Bird and Magic were doing Bird and Magic things. And the world was going, are these two going to run into each other? And it ended up happening. Man, that series changed the world when it came to basketball.
I always felt like if they made a movie about, and maybe I have seen this, but let's say they make an NBA type movie, David Stern is a character.
Probably would be.
I think John Lovitz should play him.
Really? You know what? That's actually not a bad.
They have like a similar.
He kind of, yeah. You know what? That's actually the call by
voice.
Yeah, I think John Lovitz could pull it off.
Yeah,
I do. But anyway, so NHL keeps it real. They don't do this draft lottery bullshit. They don't. That's what I love with the NHL. The NHL is still a blue collar sport. This is what I love about it. These guys haven't sold out yet. They're not rich and they're making their money, but they're still blue collar athletes by and large. You don't hear about the prima donna so much. Sidney Crosby is probably the one guy. At least in my lifetime, that even came close to that distinction. But if you go through this,
Canadians, then who?
Canadians and the Devils were second. Arizona was third. By the way,
Arizona, what's their name?
Their name is the Coyotes, and then the Seattle
Coyotes. What is this, country?
Arizona's they got coyotes out in the desert, man.
Right, but do people from Boston say coyote or coyote?
Coyotes.
So
they say both.
So when you used to watch the Roadrunner, did you say
Wile E. Coyote?
Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote?
Wile E. Coyote when I was a kid. Wile E. Coyote.
But now you're saying
But then when the Coyotes came to town.
The man moved to Virginia. He country boy now, baby. Country, baby.
You know what I'm saying, y'all? Oh, no. I promise myself I'd never say that. It's almost like his I don't disagree thing. I can't say y'all.
No, y'all is the best.
I can't say it.
I'm telling you, y'all is
I can't do it, Boston. You're still tugging at my heartstrings. I'm mad at you, but I still love you.
Look,
I'm not really mad at you. I'm more mad at Bill Belichick. That's another story for
I've been in Virginia.
That's a song for another time. See, that's Old Dominion. Anyway,
I've been in Virginia since I was 8. Okay, born in New York. Was there till I was 6.
New York.
Was there till I was 6.
He's a New Yorker.
But I said you guys for a long time.
Was it you guys or use guys?
No, use guys is like Philly. Use yins. But you guys is New York.
Use guys is Philly?
Yeah.
Really?
So I have realized now, especially
I thought it was New York or Rhode Island.
Especially working in corporate America, I realized that y'all is better. It's gender neutral. It's seriously.
Oh my God! It said webpage crashed.
So y'all is actually. I used to purposely not say it. It's easier to say than you guys. Less syllables. It's one syllable. Y'all. And that's what you realize about
from a
Southern dialect and most
from an English standpoint, it's incorrect.
So is you guys.
I know. I'm not saying that's correct, but I'm saying it's incorrect. So you're trying. So anyway, the Habs. Hold on, we're going to do this little top 10 summary here. The Habs got this dude.
What are the Habs?
The Habs. That's the Canadians' nickname is the Habs.
Oh, because they're always good?
They got 20-something Stanley Cups.
No, I was asking. Like haves versus have-nots?
They're called the Habs.
Oh, with a B?
With a B.
Why? What does that mean?
It's just their nickname. That's been there since before I was born.
So you don't know?
No, I don't know because I just don't call them that. I call them Montreal. I call them shit stains on ice.
You just called them the Habs.
Yeah, well, there's people watching this that know them as the Habs. Try to include
Well,
everybody.
let's put a poll up.
I try to include everybody, Tom. I'm like you, Mr. Let's isolate people.
I said y'all.
Anyway, so Shane Wright was supposed to go number 1. He slid all the way to the Seattle Kraken, which I think is the best name in sports. The Seattle Kraken. Release the Kraken.
That is a good one.
The Seattle Kraken. And they
not to be confused with a butt.
No, not a butt. Hell no. But he fell all the way to 4. I don't know why. I'm sure Jim Billy, if you're watching out there, or Mr. Scatino, my hockey gurus who I lean into and a little hockey knowledge, would know why that surefire first ballot Hall of Famer fell to 4. And this kid, Slavkovsky, is he Russian? He must be Russian. No, he's Slovakian. Okay. So this kid he's a left winger. Then defenseman Simon Nemec went number 2 to the Devils. The guy who went 3rd, so he fell 4th. Who was 3rd? 3rd was Logan Cooley. He's USA. He's from America. He went to the Coyotes. He's a center. Then you got at number 5, Philadelphia, the Flyers. Got Cutter. The kid's name is Cutter. His first name is Cutter. That's why I love hockey. Only in hockey can you get a name like that, Cutter.
It's not true. You can get a baseball name like that.
Maybe, but it's rare. Hockey, that's more common. It just is. There are guys like that, like Blue Tusky Blitnikovs. But Cutter, he's a USA kid. He went to the Flyers. Blue Jackets went 6th. They got the defenseman David. I'm going to pronounce all these last names wrong because this guy's from the Czech Republic, so I'm not getting that right. It starts with a J. G-Krek. And then the Blackhawks, who, by the way, my brother-in-law, shameless plug, my brother-in-law, my cousin Lori's husband, is the scout for the Chicago Blackhawks. Long story short, he interviewed for the job with the Bruins. The Bruins turned him down. He built 3 Stanley Cup winners in the time the Bruins got the 3 Stanley Cup, but lost to the Blackhawks and won them. And he helped do that. He scouts over. He spends half his year between Canada and Russia scouting talent. Shout out to him. So, but anyway, Blackhawks were next at 7. Obviously, they're already building mode. They got a kid, Kevin Korshkinski. He's WHL is where he came from. Red Wings, Detroit Red Wings, one of the original 6, I believe. They went 8th. They're in it's weird that the Red Wings are bad. Detroit Red Wings are usually good. So this is a rarity. They got the center, Marco Kasper from Sweden. Oh, those damn Swedes. I know you have a thing or two. You're 2 cents on them, don't you? Don't you, Thomas?
Well, the Swedes are pretty much, the
happy.
model I don't disagree country.
They're happy.
And whenever you're ready, I have the history of the Habs.
They live stress-free in Sweden.
Whenever you're ready, I have
and
the
then
history of the Habs.
number 10, the not so mighty Ducks, got Pavel Minkyovic from, where's he from? Synagogue. Oh, I think he's from Canada. Pavel Minkyovic, I can't say the last name. But I apologize to those guys. This is your big night, and this guy's butchering your last name. Anyway, so that's the top 10 right now, and it's ongoing. I'm not sure where they are in the draft. We'll check in again with them later. But Tom found the history of the nickname, right? Where it came from, the origin of this. What do you got?
Right.
What do you got?
So, if you don't know, the Canadians'
Which means you don't know.
logo is a C
with an H.
With an H. Okay. Common misconception is that people think the H is the Habs. The H actually stands for hockey. However, according to NHL.com, and this is coming from Wikipedia.
Well, they have no agenda. Their agenda is the truth.
According to NHL.com, the first man to refer to the team as the Habs was American Tex Rickard, owner of Madison Square Garden in 1924. Rickard apparently told a reporter that the H on the Canadiens' sweaters was for habitants. In French, the habitants nickname dates back to at least 1914 when it was printed in Les Devoirs to report a 9-3 win over Toronto on the 9th of February.
See,
so
Wikipedia knows no joke.
Apparently,
no joke.
Their nickname is the Habitants.
Shortened to the Habs. By a bunch of lazy Bostonians.
But I don't know what habitants means either.
The habitants of this local community. You live there.
Habitants?
Habitants. You live somewhere. You're a habitant of that.
Really?
I know what habitant by itself.
A habitant means
what's habitant? I'm just using it in a sentence. What does it mean? What's a textbook?
Habitants. An early French settler in Canada. Oh,
An early French settler.
An early French settler in Canada.
Yeah.
So you've got the French Canadian, the Habs.
There you go. There you go.
Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense. And no one, not my father, God rest his soul, but anyone, no one ever explained that to moi. Okay.
But it makes sense.
But now it makes a lot of sense.
It's like, okay, the French
but I love
settled
that.
in Canada. The people who came from France and settled there, they called them the habitants.
That makes sense. I like that.
Canadian
I think we learned something tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
We always try.
We always try. We try to educate here on this program. It starts by educating ourselves. If you're not learning, you're losing. How about that?
All right. So we did a small hockey segment. We taught you something.
We did.
Can we move on?
Yes, we can totally move on.
Or did you have a couple more picks?
No. We got to the top. Did the top 10.
Well, where are the Islanders picking?
Now he cares.
Well, I mean, I know,
Now he gives a shit.
Our main hockey fan, Craig Scatino.
Who was a diehard. He's a diehard. Yes, he is.
He's an Islander.
They have the draft track. Oh, here's the draft track. I'll say exactly what it is. So this is pulling up right now. So
fun fact, when I went to see a game at Citi Field, it was actually a Subway Series Mets-Yankee game. The night that it was a Sunday night game on ESPN. Mariano Rivera got his 500th save. Me and my cousins, or I took a picture of my cousins with Tavares. It was right after the Islanders had drafted him.
Yep.
And
you have a picture with this guy?
I took a picture of my cousins with him.
Okay, you were behind the camera.
Because I didn't, I didn't know anything.
You didn't care.
But I remember they said to him,
we've long established that you don't care.
They said, like, let's win the cup. And then, later that night we were talking about, like, man, what kind of pressure is that when, like, you're an 18-year-old kid and somebody's like, yeah, let's win the Stanley Cup. Like, we drafted you, now let's do it.
All right, so, two things. One, the Islanders picked at 13. I don't know who they got. That's the order. They pick at 13. The Boston Bruins don't have a pick till 54. What the tits is up with that? Where did the first round pick go? What piece of gut? What did they trade away to get who? You better say a name that actually scores 30 or 40 goals, or I'm not going to be happy with that. So they don't pick till 54. They being the Bruins. Islanders are at 13. Then the Habs they're first in the second round, same order. The Coyotes have a slew of picks. They have a slew of picks. They really do. They've got 34. They've got 37. They've got 32. They've got 3 in the 30s. Arizona. If Arizona's draft team better be doing their job because they got a slew of opportunities here. Actually, I'm sorry. They have 27 as well in the first round. So they've got like 5 picks in the first 40. They being the Arizona Coyotes. Okay. Meanwhile, the Bruins have 1 at 54, and they need talent like you read about. So Islanders were at 13. I don't know who they got. When it pops up, I'll let you know. So that's our hockey segment for tonight. I will before we get up there, I will go back and see where they are in the draft, just so we're being fair. We're being fair. Full disclosure. Anyway, so we're going to close this first segment out. We're going to go find Yoda, and then
did you want to touch on KD before we go?
Katie's going to take that. We're going to lead off with that because that's
not in the think piece.
Actually, you're right. We'll do it after the think piece. So what we're going to do is because the thing about the KD, it's not just KD. It's the KD Cry Me sweepstakes, and it's not what I would call a sweepstakes because sweepstakes don't look like this. Okay. Sweepstakes, everybody's trying to get it, okay? And here it looks more the opposite. So not looks more, it is more of that. So, and everybody's trying to figure out why the Nets are not rushing into this. There's a perfectly logical reason for that. We will get into that after the break, but when we come back, we're going to have the think piece, which we're going to surprise you tonight with it. We are going to consult with the Almighty and the All Mini, Yoda, and with Joe Boo. And we have a couple of options here. We're going to let the Almighty guide. We're going to be guided.
Well, it's gonna be a collaborative.
I think it will be. And I think you're going to find it very interesting and a lot of fun.
Wow, what a play!
And so it's just the Atlanta.
What a play! Oh shit, they might double them off.
They might double off Atlanta.
Oh wow!
No, that knowledgeable fan base.
Okay, so I'm sorry to interrupt this.
No, that's fine.
It's bottom of the ninth. Atlanta got a leadoff walk, so they had a man at first. Their freaking prodigy. What's this kid's name?
For the Braves.
Yeah, they called him up this year.
He just what do you do?
It's Michael something.
Not to be confused with Michael Corleone.
Whatever.
We know he would get it done.
They
don't
called
we?
him up this year. He's a kid. He's their center fielder. Their season has changed since they called him up.
So he's been a lightning
He,
spark plug. He's a game changer.
I'm pretty sure.
Game changer.
Yeah, I'm
Change
pretty
it up.
sure that
Change
was
the
him.
game. Game changer.
Michael Harris the second. Okay,
The second.
He's been great for them defensively and with the bat. He just hits a freaking rocket to left center field, and the guy on first, I don't know if he was running or he just took off because it was hit so hard. He was rounding second as the center fielder jumped up and made a great catch on the run.
What's his name?
Michael Harris the second.
For Arizona, right? No, for the Braves.
No, for the Braves.
Michael
So
Harris. There he is. Center fielder.
Center fielder jumps up,
Ooh.
makes a great catch. The guy who was on first, the leadoff walk, they put a pinch runner in. He had rounded second, so he's trying to get back. Center fielder throws it in, hits the relay man, and they double off the guy from first. So now it's 2 outs, nobody on.
But to his
Big
point,
play.
the kid Harris, the spark plug, the game changer, change the game, change it up. Walk came in tonight flirting with 300. He's batting about 296.
Yeah.
He has the lone RBI tonight. 1 for 4. He's got the rip.
He hit the home run.
He hit the home run. So yeah, he has been all that in a bag of potato chips.
Yeah, he's awesome.
This
He
point.
changed their season.
He changed game changer, the game changer.
But
I know
now,
a few game changers out there. I wonder what you're doing to change the game right now. We'll figure it
yeah,
out.
so they just got through him. Now he's got to face Acuna.
And I'm out of poison, so I need some more poison too. So anyway, when we come
Acuna,
back,
another one of the people, arguably best player in the game.
yes, he is. I know who you're talking about. Yes, that's a fair.
Ronald Acuna
Ronald
Jr.
Acuna, yeah, he is another one. Why these guys, the Jackie Bradley
Great player.
Juniors and the Ken Griffey Juniors and Dan, all these juniors, Steph Curry. Well, he's not a junior, but all these sons of the forgotten, all these sons of the coulda, shoulda, wouldas, of the sons of the halfway decent, the above average, who are making all these lasting impressions in our sports world. So anyway, we'll go back. We'll take our little break from the lineage of this, and we're going to find Yoda. We're going to consult with Jobu, and we'll come back with a think piece to make you think, make you laugh, hopefully not make you cry. But
Struck out Acuna on 3 pitches.
so much for that.
Blew 100 by him twice.
They see those juniors, they all suck. They're worthless. I don't know why they bother. The first one was a screw up. Why do you bother having a sequel?
A potential think piece in the future is creating a junior. Is that a little conceited?
It depends.
I agree.
It depends.
I'd agree.
I think there's some truth to that, but it depends.
I
I know
agree.
there are some that did not. They just
Some of it's tradition.
Some of it's tradition. So anyway, you guys go find a frosty one, a frosty beverage, or what we call in the Northeast a fine frothel, which is fine. That's gibberish for fine frosty beverage, a frothel. Well, I'll educate you on that later. But anyway, you guys get that. Grab the snack, grab the chips, grab the dessert. That the other half is asleep, so you're getting that dessert when she or he is not looking. And we're back very, 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 very soon.